There we go. And then you're right, Robbie. All fine? Right. Okay, good to see you all. It's a sunny afternoon in Melbourne, and yet here we all are. You can see it's sunny. Look, you can see out the window. I'm not lying. It is sunny. But we said we'd get together this afternoon, didn't we? So that's okay. We won't be here all afternoon. There'll be plenty of time for you to all go for your designated power walk. After we're finished, I will. In fact, I did one this morning, and I haven't put up the brag shots yet on A Quilter's Life. But first of all, before we get started, good afternoon, Karen and Sally and Linda. May I speak about things as we go? Is that okay? So if I go back again and go, hello Sally, your Quilter's Life special is in the mail. Hello Linda. Donna, thank you. Yeah, all fixed. Hello Diane. Yvonne, hello. I think now, Yvonne, you said my applique sampler isn't here. I'm so sorry. I got confused. I thought you had already started. But my precious 10 ladies that have been waiting for it to start, yours all left the building yesterday, at the absolute latest yesterday. And then we are opening up memberships again for a September start today. So that's why the baby's up on the wall. I'm going to run through the blocks. So if you are just starting now, Yvonne, you're going to get a little bit of a sneak peek, well actually a big sneak peek, at some of the blocks that are in it. So good afternoon, Barb. How are things in Queensland? Hello, Melissa. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Linda. Yeah, we are. I think we're all good to go. Sharon Keys, you are most welcome. And you may or may not have a delivery service who kind of likes delivering to you. So there you go. A little bit of VIP treatment there. And if I could have popped in Lindt chocolate for you, I would have. But Rich hasn't got the door open at the moment. Hello, Anne. Thank you very much for your order. Hello, Marie. Hello Mel, you've got stuff on the way too. I think yours might be a rotary cutter. It's either that or all the True Grips came in as well. So all people waiting for True Grips and rotary cutters, they arrived. Hello Pat, hello Lorraine, hello Judy. Pat, I'm very glad to hear you've been for your walk. I tell you what, if it warms up any more down here, we're going to need sunscreen. Only joking, only joking. Kathy. Are you all good? Can you hear me now? Kathy, it left the building. It did leave the building. So Kathy and I have a big day on Wednesday. Kathy more than me. I'm just saying that out loud. Kathy has a very special birthday on Wednesday. And Kathy, did you know I planned for the Love and Hugs Facebook page, which we start hosting on Wednesday, but don't worry if you're not in it. I'm going to dual feed the demos and things through Chandler's Cottage Facebook as well. It's National Wattle Day as well on the 1st. And guess what I decided to demo for the first Love and Hug show? How's that? I didn't even know. I did not know. Hello Kathy Ahern, and oh look, you're all here. That's absolutely lovely. Yeah. There's stacks of you here. That's lovely. Hello Denise. Hello Lois. Hello Nan. Thank you. I could keep going, but hey, we've got lots to get through this afternoon. Hi Jill. Lots and lots to get through this afternoon. Hello Wendy. Wendy, you've watched before, haven't you, from country Victoria? I want to be where you are, just saying. Hello Janine. Good to see you as well. And Jeanette. So they're all three are still waiting to be processed at the post office. So I'll tell Steve that. He's downstairs at the moment doing something on the website for us, so it's ready for today. I will let him know that you have the power now to track where your parcels are, which just makes you more frustrated if they're all sitting at the post office waiting to be processed. Rosemary, I hope you're feeling better. Anita and Christine and Marcel, you're all here. Hello Francis. I love it. All the girls are in the building. Awesome. Julie, this is your first time. It is your first time. It is your first time watching. Oh, that's lovely. Of course, Saturdays are good to do every now and then, aren't they? Because I know a lot of you work. What did happen this week? Wow, Facebook was just, it had its challenges this week. Just when you think you've got your you've got it all wrapped up. We had trouble with it on Tuesday, so we could not stream, so we used my phone. And then we did Wednesday, and don't you love it? The key to end the video disappeared. There was no key to end the video. I could have left you here for 24 hours with a blank screen, just staring at a blank wall. So instead we pulled the plug, that gave you a black wall. We actually had to delete the video. We couldn't get out, so we were unable to save it. So what we were doing on Wednesday, I'm just going to do a quick recap for you this afternoon, a quick recap, and yeah, and then you'll know what we were up to. Yeah, so I'm very sorry about that. We couldn't save it. I did have a lot of people going, I'm home from work, where's it gone, where's it gone? But I couldn't do anything about it. So, oh, hello Hazel. This is so cool. It's so cool you're all here. Right, so first of all, I've got Rob on standby, because you can see, if you watch a lot, you're a long way away today. And that's why you can see the window, the camera plug, and I've hidden a multitude of sins behind the ladder. But that's because for those that are doing the applique sampler, it's a recap. For those that have been thinking about joining, and I pre-warned you all we were going to have a quick talk about it today, I've popped it up on the wall, and I wanted you to be able to see the top, because usually it gets cut off halfway. So before we move on to other things, and to show you some close-ups of some of the new blocks and explain it a bit more, I'm going to just go through the quilt as it is at the moment, so you've got an idea of what it looks like. Then we're going to zoom in a little bit closer, do some other stuff, and then I'll show you the blocks. So this quilt, wow. Yep, Steve's downstairs again. So how do I do this? When I was having Steve, about to have Steve, I decided I wanted to teach an applique sampler, and like so many of us, I did the stock standard 12 block applique sampler as my start to patchwork, my patchwork journey. And I loved it, and a lot of the techniques my gorgeous teacher taught me up in Hillsville, I still use today. It was a great class. It was a wonderful experience with another 11 ladies, admittedly at the time, because I was only 19 when I did it, who became like aunties to me, and it was a precious time. So I made one. I started making one while I was still teaching at a little shop, and then it just didn't work to teach there once I'd had Steve in the evenings. Of course, you know, beading and all that stuff. So I decided not to do it, but then the girls that had been doing classes with me followed me home, and it was sitting in a basket, some of the blocks, one day when they came around to see the baby, and they said, well, we'll come to you and we'll hold the baby and put the kettle on, and you teach us the quilt. And that's really where Chandler's Cottage started. So Steve's 19, so this quilt has stood the test of time, and I've taught it a few times, obviously, over those 19 years. We ran it for a long time in our house, which was Chandler's Cottage, and it was so many girls did it that we had to have a Chandler's Cottage applique sampler dinner once a year, hire out the back room of a restaurant, and everyone bought their quilts. So it was kind of special. So with the last couple of years and where we've all been with things, I decided it was time to take a step back and perhaps go back to what I call really sewing with integrity. Robbie, can you stick that air conditioner back on? It has gone up 10 degrees already in here because we're upstairs. So, you know, slow down and learn some of these slower sewing, stitching skills while we have the luxury, if you want to call it that, of the time to do it. So this quilt's got 26 blocks, and this is version 3. The first one was blue and yellow pansy fabric themed. The second one was pastels on ivory, and then this one I did in more dramatic colours. And if you look at this now, you can see where I headed with fabric design. This sort of became my starting point for a lot of my fabric designs in these colourways, with Under the Australian Sun and the Russian range and so on. So 26 blocks, and each block you either learn a new skill or you build it up as you go. Now we have a lot of ladies stitchers doing it now, and they started off with paper piecing, and then they're slowly building up to what will be quite advanced by the end needle turn applique. But there's lots and lots of others in the middle. And then of course they all have the choice, if they don't want to do needle turn, they would have learnt lots of other techniques along the way, so they have the power to choose the skills they're going to use. So we are on month, whoa, Feb, March, April, May, June, July. I'm running late, so they're going to get another one next week. And they'll go, what? But I got behind this year, because you just never know what things are going to happen along the way. And someone may have been a real little smarty pants and thought, even when her ENT surgeon said 4 to 6 weeks, I went, nah, it'll all be over in 2. I'll have it all under control, I'll be back sewing. I wasn't even allowed really to string a sentence together on a laptop for the first 2 weeks, and it took me a long time to get back on track. So I thought I would have all this beautiful time at home to sew. It didn't happen. Anyway, so now we're back on track. Now I've had so many girls waiting to start, and we're really guilty of not getting them started as early as we should have. It was supposed to be July, and it's just gone out now towards the end of August. There were things, I will show you what's in the first pack. There were some things that held us up. Some of them were fabrics, a few bits and pieces, and also we really wanted to run it through the new website, and Steve and I kind of gave up yesterday. So we have this magical little group of 10 ladies who started now, and they will be their own separate little group, but we are now taking intake for people that would like to start, and the next group will start on the 27th of September. What? And Steve's here, he's downstairs now setting that up on the website. It's live. Thank you, Steve. Steve, we had lots of plans to get things up today, but our gorgeous family GP, who never rushes anyone, was running an hour and a half late. So we just lost a little bit of time, but Steve's the yay man because he was getting his checkup before his vaccination. So we will forgive him for that. Well, I'm fine with that. So what we'll do is today, we'll run through a few things, and then by tomorrow night also they'll go up. And as I promised, as we get things up onto the website that are new, that I promised, we will post them up for you so you can see them. And look, it's so much work. 100 threads up. We went flat out yesterday putting stuff up, and I don't even know if you can see it. There's so much up there, and there's still so much to go. And while I'm supposed to be writing all the descriptions and the search words and all of that, we've been flat out because you've been buying off the new website. So every time we go to do something, we stop and run out the back and fill the orders. We kind of think that's more important, to get them out the door really fast. So we'll keep going. We'll keep going and see where we're going. Someone, yes, Donna, you are part of the small group. So yours went out yesterday. Yeah, Melanie, get going. You got a lot to do because there's more coming out. Because I've got to catch up. I've got to get us back on track so that you all thanked me for your August delivery. It was actually your July. So I'm just slowly trying to get you back on track. So that's what the quilt originally looked like. But what I'm going to do is give you a look at some of the blocks. The whole idea was to make it a semi-mystery. So some of the blocks do stay the same. Some of them are tweaked, but they've all got a little bit of an Australian feel this time. So they've either got a little bit of an Australian print in them, or the block is themed as Australian. So this block here is sort of an ivory leaf, which came off, Rob's up here with me, which came off the front of your botany book from uni, that ivory leaf. This is now gum leaves on this one. So we've switched them around. Where the pansies are, so you can see I've got little labels on some of them. These are the blocks. Oh, I've done that one, that label can come off. It's sort of just to remind me what's going where for the ones I haven't done yet. So this one's going to be Cascading Wattle. This one is going to be a fan like the one at the top, but this will be done with Melba florals down here. This one, hold on to your hats ladies, this is going to be reverse applique. This, instead of the pansies, of course that has to be Sturt Desert Pea. This month, or the next one coming out, we're doing an Aussie biscuit barrel here. And this will be the first block where those that started in February will start needle turning with some of the other techniques you've already done. This is going to be a wreath of gum leaves. So there's lots, that's a waratah. There's lots of changes. Some things are the same, some things change. But the techniques and the skill levels, they stay the same. All right, now before I show you those, I have to show you, see this, can you see that? How cool, see my beautiful new whiteboard? It says Chandler's Cottage and local business partner with Australia Post, and Greg's put on it, Leesa's Notes Play Day in Studio. So this is above and beyond. This is our Australia Post manager, because we have an account now. How scary. So this is awesome, because now you'll see when your parcels come through, you've got printed stickers, you get information, you get tracking, so you can track your parcels. You get really cool butterfly stickers, or a teal I can't say it now. Compostable, is that right? It breaks down in the veggie patch. Compostable satchel, or you can reuse it. But he made me a whiteboard. I have to use it. All right. Shall we do this, Rob? We'll change it. I'll switch over to camera 2. So there you go. So, oh no, I haven't done it yet. Now I have. There you go. So what we were doing on Wednesday, I just want to see if I've missed anybody. What we were doing on Wednesday was having a look at circular feet attachment for a banana. So, and we've got these on the website now, along with a lot of other feet. And I had a special offer up for you. So just for those that missed Wednesdays, and there were a few, and I know that because a lot of you watch at night time, I've just set up another one here. So we're going to work in reverse, as in I'm going to show you what the attachment looks like, which is sitting under here when I've finished off this little circle. But what I can show you while we're going, all right, step back. This is the same as Kathy Douglas's new banana, which she is getting for her birthday. Yes, Merle, that is one of the victims of us running late with Steve getting back. So they will be going up, I promise. Hi, Gwen. Good to see you. Hi, Helen. But yes, that is one of the victims of running late and being busy. I promise they are here and they will go up. You can pop anything in your cart too and leave it there. Looks good, thanks, Rob. That's it. Rob's moved the camera for me while I've been here. Right, so see I've got circles happening? How cool is that? And the secret is there's a little attachment underneath that's got a really nasty sharp spike on it, okay? So what happens is you pop your fabric. If your fabric's a little bit soft, you don't want a really thick tear away stabilizer on the back, which I didn't with this particular piece. Pop it into just your cheap and cheerful embroidery hoop, but so that the fabric is on the other side, if you like, or flat onto the sewing platform on your banana. And then you've got this little stopper that you must always put on there when you're not sewing. I've only done it once. Hey Sue, good to see you. I've only done it once, and it's not pleasant. And I did it on my finger, and I couldn't use it. It was sharp. Okay, so that's my little safety tip. With the 570s and the 770s in bananas, they've got extra wide feed dogs. They're 9mm wide instead of 5.5. So that means I can get super big decorative stitches happening on this machine. And I picked a Satin Stitch, like a really pretty decorative one, to show you. So I'm just going to speed this up, and you can see what happens is the fabric's got no choice but to pivot around the spike. Let me go a bit faster for you so we get this bit done. Hey Megan, what's happening? Oh, Linda's here as well. Wait a minute. Meg, you're not really sewing Christmas bunting, are you? You're just showing off. You're showing off, mate. Can you see how that's working? I just want to finish this off. What I will do, I'm going to set that. There you go. Start stop button. I don't even have to have my foot down. So that is what is on the bobbin at the moment. It's bottom line. Steve's going to put all of these up today or Tuesday. So we've got all our bobbin line in stock. And I'm running a very, very psychedelic thread so you can see it here. But that is what I'm going to use when I do my funky fish that I spoke about the other day. So the fish that Emma and I demoed, I'm going to do that as a little pattern as well onto a background of this gorgeous ombre. So that is the thread I'm going to use for that. And what I said the other day, if you order one of these attachments, I'm putting in those 2 cotton reels for free. There's your freebie. Now I'm going to slow down. Now Kathy, are you paying attention? You need to be paying attention. Oh, how cruel is that? Because what you can do with your bananas as well, if you find that you're not at the end of the repeat of the pattern, you can bunch up your stitches just a little bit, and you can see on your screen exactly where you are. So, because that's one of the challenges with doing a decorative stitch, is being able to finish off in the pattern repeat. Okay, there you go. So what you'll do now, you take your little stopper off. Oh, you know what I did first the other day? I took my foot off. Just to get it out of the way. So that's your big number 20D. Then we take this off. We take this off and I slide along until my hoop is free of the spike, and I'll put my little stopper back on, and then I can pull it out and I can show you what it looks like there. So you can see I didn't do too bad. You can't actually see where I started and stopped. There we go. So it's a really, it's just the most fun attachment to use. Now, good afternoon, Robin. I've just seen you sneak in as well. Sneak in and watch. This is what it all looks like here. Okay, so it comes in a cute little box, of course. All good things come in cute little boxes. You've got a little screwdriver that comes with it. And if you always wondered what those holes are for on your foot plate, well, this is one of them. So you'll unscrew this and you take out your screw. And there was only one screw holding that. It is amazingly sturdy and stable, but the other, you've got 2 holes here which are for different things like seam guides and things, but there's a little notch that sits in the other one. I'll just screw this back in because I want to show you. Yes, Jenny Miller, it does work on a 440. Absolutely. If you've got those 2 little holes there, you are set to go. I'm sure it does. I'm absolutely sure it does. I'm sure I used to use one on my 440. Alright, so this, to get your different size circles, this is always going to be, that spike is going to be the center of your circle. So your smallest circle, you'll bring your spike right in here, and then the radius, let's get technical, the radius of your circle is from that tip spike to the needle. So the diameter is going to be twice that, so out to here. So your circle's going, I think your minimum circle is about 2 inches, to be honest. And then, look at that, you can go all the way out to here. Now, that on this machine, Jen, actually now you've mentioned it, this has got a slightly wider throat than your 440. So the radius of what you can do is going to be limited by your throat width. So you'll probably come back a little bit, just a little bit. So you might be about there. And of course it's going to come down to whichever hoop you put it in, if you need a hoop or if you don't. I have used mine for quilting, when I had with adhesive rubber foam batting. and that was very stable to use. And I just scrunched up my quilt like you would if you were quilting. It was really good. So you do get a spare little screw, because we all know, don't we? They just disappear on the floor under the machine, and we can never ever find them again. They just get eaten up by the carpet, and they're gone, absolutely gone. There you all are. You have questions. Hang on, where was that? What was that? Oh, thank you, Melissa. See, Melissa uses hers on her 440. You do use it, don't you, Melissa? You do use it. Pauline, I don't think so. I don't think you can use them on a faff, but the faff might have it might have a feature that you can use it with, because of the way that all of these distances have been set for the holes on a Bernina sewing plate. So I would be very, very surprised if you could run it on a different machine. Yeah, absolutely works on a 750. Absolutely, and that was the first time I used one. Absolutely, the first time I used one. Gwen, because what was I? Oh, I was with Kerry from Bernina down at the Deloraine Art and Craft Fair in Tassie, and she was demoing it. And at that point, I was a friend of Bernina, and I had a 750. I could not wait. I could not wait to get home and use it. Oh, the other thing, I think it's on the stairs. It doesn't matter. The other thing I was going to try it with was just having a really nice, probably a 1/4 inch wide satin stitch, and run it. And I'm going to layer up a piece, an old towel, and some flannelette or flannel on the back with a bit of padding, because then I can do tight circles and cut them down for makeup removers instead of just going through the disposable ones. I thought that would be really cool to make my own little circular toweling makeup pads, because you just need that little bit of oomph to get the gunk off some days, particularly if I've been on Facebook hiding any flaws from you, to be brutally honest. All right, so that's what that does. They're on the website, and we're popping in those two threads for you. Now, the actual ombre that I was using is this one, and I think I mentioned the other day we'd missed putting this one up, so I'm going to hand this one to Rob. Is it not gorgeous? Is it not just gorgeous? Shades from dark to light. Let me do this first. Rob knows what I'm going to do, standing here to take it off me. Can you see that? Look, just beautiful. And then this is the pack of the Spotty Dotties. A lot of people have bought these. We've got a few left, but this is what I'm going to use with the little free pattern that I'm popping up for the fishies that Em and I did the other day. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? There you go. So you've got 10 fat 8s in the pack. So these are in the pre-cut section now. Steve did have them in beautiful fabrics the other day, but he's got them in a pre-cut section now. And this ombre is not up, so I'm going to hand it to Rob, and he's going to take it downstairs and say, Steve, pop that up for me, please. All the others, there's lots of gorgeous ombres there. Now, where's that amazing list I had? Okay, we've done this, and now come on, we'll go through the applique sample with me. So Steve said it's up. Very exciting, very, very exciting. So the way that it works now, and you'll see it in the description if you want to join us. I feel like I need to tell you how big the group is, because it was way bigger, the response, than we thought, and it really did throw us to a point. We're all under control now, but it meant that we had to be really careful about moving forward, and if we had enough stock, because I am dead set, determined and stubborn that you always get exactly what I have used. I used to get Block of the Months delivered, and I'd be so disappointed because the fabric would differ from what was in the picture or what had been advertised or that sort of stuff. I think we might put this gorgeous creature on the floor for a minute. I think I've got to come back to it later, but I'll pop him on the floor. All my bananas are boys. It's entirely up to you, but mine are all boys. Okay. Pop that there. So much stuff on the table. So that held us back. No. That held us back just a little bit. Making sure that we had everything so that everything could be exactly the same. God, what have I done with the pack? Robbie? I've lost it. Rob?
Hello.
I don't know what I've done with the sampler pack of the first month for the block of the month.
Were there two down there? Or just
No, just the one. And I swear I brought it up and it's just vanished. Don't do the hands in the air thing. That serves no purpose.
They weren't in the air.
I might have left it just, you know what it looks like now, don't you?
Yeah.
You'll find it. It's not, I don't know. It's not here, it's not here, it's not here. Okay, wasting time, wasting time. So that held us up. We have in the first group that started in February, there are 155 of you in the club. So I don't know how many you thought were doing it. There's 155 in the club. So it's a lot of work for us each month to get it all out. So that is why we can't do as many as I would like for the next intake. But the way it works is you can book from today if you haven't joined and you would like to join. This one. And this is what you get. So this all runs for us through the new site. The way that we run the existing club members is quite time consuming, and we're all fine with that, and we're more than happy to keep that going. But moving forward, it will run through our new website, which just makes our lives a little bit easier. I still have to cut them all. So if you sign up today, or if you to sign up on the 26th of September, whenever you sign up, your first payment will be made, and then all other ones from that date. So if you book today, you will get your first mail out on the 27th of September. If you book on the 26th of September, you will get it on the 27th of September, whenever it is, and then you will always be charged on your card on the same date each month. Of course, then you may like to leave it until the 26th to sign up, but just please be careful, because we only have, based on the calculations I've done with fabrics like this one that are in the first pack that we are not reprinting now till next year, we can only do 30 members at an absolute maximum, and we will be, which I really want to do, and we'll be promoting it through a little thing we're doing on another Facebook page. So I just wanted you, I don't want you to miss out if you really want to do it. So if you think you can part with $22.50 now, and then next month and stuff, then that's when it will get mailed out to you. Yeah, so that's the way it's going to work. Now, in your first pack, you get a welcome letter. Hang on, I'll just go back a tick. Yes, Jenny, it will work on a 215, absolutely. Thanks, see, Megan, I knew you'd like that idea about upcycling. Yeah, see, Linda, it's a big group, and that's why if you have a look at the Facebook page, because it has a closed Facebook group as well, there's a lot of members. I think a lot of the girls have signed up for the club. So yeah, so get into there. If you want to get into the Facebook group, if you've signed up, please do. Someone put some gorgeous photos up I need to approve as well, so I will do that. So the photos or anything you want to put up comes through Cass and I, and we pop them up on the Facebook page. So it's a nice little group to be in, because you can show off what you're doing. Welcome letter, all about how it all works, how to set up all of your blocks. Your block of the month each month looks like this. I'm around the wrong way. Block 1, we are doing hexagons. So we start with the basics of good English paper piecing. You get all your instructions in here, and the girls are going, oh, I remember that way back when. And then we move on and do the lattice block. I'll show you the actual blocks in a tick. What else do you get in the first one? Oh, you get a special deal on background fabrics. So the club doesn't include your background. That's why it's only $22.50. But in the first month, we do use some special deals, so you can choose which background you wish to run through. So that's there. And then you get all your fabrics to get started. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got 5 different squares of fabrics here. And then you've got, this is one of the things holding us back, okay? So from doing too many members. So you get a piece of Under the Australian Sun. You get 3 whole skeins of embroidery thread, which you'll use in your first month, and then you can just keep using them as you wish. You get a little pack of your octagons and a little pack of your hexagons in Epiplex. So you get to reuse these again and again and again, and then you'll actually get to start designing and making extra ones as you go for your outer borders as well. Let me get you the blocks. This gets me enthused. This gets me enthused to get my act together and finish off the ones that no one wants to know about that are coming next week. Alright, so this is one of the first ones. So there's your octagons, and we don't do embroidery in the first month either. You know, we come back and do that. Second month we do a little special bit on embroidery. Here are your octagons, and then the month we do this one, we don't even talk about the butterflies. We come back and we do the butterflies. So everything kind of intertwines and mingles together. Here we start talking about curved bias. We do colonial knots, more paper piecing but with pentagons. This is a little feature one that we do with just embroidery with the Callistamon, and that gets you set up for doing that. Then we use another technique that's bagging out. So you've got little bagging out this fussy cut shape from Melba, and you get a big chunk of Melba and you come back and use it again. Suffolk puffs. Ooh, this is the month we do pre-shaping, and you can see some of that Melba fussy cut down for your pointed Dresden. So these are what the blocks are going to look like as opposed to the ones that are on the quilt behind me. So some are the same like the pointed Dresden, but we fussy cut, and some of them we tweak. Instead of that, you can't have a Celtic knot on an Aussie themed quilt. So we don't. We're doing this tile block instead. So it's quite an Art Nouveau, if you like, styled bias work block. So everyone is busy little bees making their bias at the moment. Hello, Tara. Oh, Jill, you're in the building. Awesome. Did you read my email? Yeah, so they're all busy doing this. And I don't make life too hard. See the raw edges here? In my little box. Oh, please tell me they're in the little box. They may not be. We make... Ooh, they may not be here. They may be on my desk still at home. We make little Suffolk puffs. So you don't have to worry about, on your first go, turning corners like this. We just have our raw edges here, and we're just going to put little Suffolk puffs over the top. Mine are not on there because a lot of the 3D work, little ones like these. We use that little pattern again, so we put a little one of those on the end. I suggest to the girls to leave a lot of their 3D stuff off until we have quilted the quilt. So we do these first, and then we do the folds here. And I have said as well, if you don't like your folds, you can add more puffs if you want to. Nothing should be too complicated or too stressful. It's got to be, you know, it's got to be fun. It's just got to be fun, and it is literally a learning journey. This is the block I was talking about that we do. The first one where we're pre-shaping with a product called Polyfuse, and then I upped the ante on everyone this month, and this is also done with Polyfuse. We start ruching, and these are going to become little bottle brushes that will sit on the outer border of the quilt. So we do straight first, and then we do them so they're curled around to make little heliochrysms. Again, If you don't like the points that you get, you just hide them under a butterfly. That's it, you just hide them. You don't worry about it, you just stick a butterfly on and keep going. So this little block here as well is our little pea flower block. So a little bit of, hang on, I can do it. It's not a Canedia. It's not a Canedia. If Mum was watching now, I'd get slapped. Can't do it. It's not a Canedia, but it'll come to me. But on this one, we take our Suffolk puffs a little bit further and we actually pre-piece the fabric that we cut them from, and then we pull them into 3 little petals to make our pea flowers. I might have more of these. I only had these pinned on when I pulled the quilt off the wall in my studio at home, so there might be a couple on the floor. Again, see, I've got some of my butterflies, because you get a big chunk of butterfly fabric. I've got some of my butterflies ready to sort of think about adding into different blocks, so you know they might go on. We shall see. We'll see, but they're in my little box of tricks. Hey, for those of you that are already started, this is the start of the Waratah. So do you remember how we did our pre-shaping of our circles at the start of our Suffolk puffs? You're going to do the same for your Waratah heads, and they're going to go on here. That'll all get hidden later, and then we're going to use ruching for the top of the Waratah head. It's going to go like that with 3D petals. So even though those that have already started are 7 months in, there's still lots and lots to learn. And then from next month, those girls will start getting their fabric for their sashing, because as you can see, I've done piece sashing for this quilt. So they'll get that and they'll be able to start piecing their blocks together, because there'll be enough finish to start doing that. So that's what you get. So it's $22.50 a month, and that includes your postage within Australia. Steve tells me he has very cleverly set it up today so that if you are overseas, you can order it and there'll be additional postage depending on where you are. So I'm raring now to go home and sew mine. I get a bit frustrated sometimes because frustrated sewer. I'll pop all that in there. But I did sew this morning, and I'm going to redo a bit of it with you now, because my little owl, I made Felicity's owl up, and I know a lot of you have been hassling me for the owl, and I had to remake him. He wasn't up to scratch. He is now, however, I didn't put enough rice in him this morning. That's enough stuffing. So I'm going to redo that with you now so that you you can see. So let me give you a little close-up of what he looks like at the moment. I would never have done anything like this if Felicity hadn't sent it to us. Remember, she sent us the whole little noodle box with the owls in. So I made my little guy up, and he's going to be one of our first free download patterns, and of course it doesn't happen unless I've done the photo. Same with the book pattern, which is, I don't know what happens. I'm going to do it today. Must do it today. I know what happened. I was here the other day and I couldn't find a book that needed covering besides the diary I'd already covered, so plenty of time to do that. So this is our little owl, and remember, Flick sent us a whole parliament, is the term, of owls down to this side. This guy kind of looks more like a penguin to me, no offense, Flick. But he doesn't have his beak turned down, so that's a non-beak option. And he's just, this little guy's been made with a little bit of Under the Australian Sun, if you don't mind, on the back. But I've decided to make my guys up in a wool cream flannel. And I think I was very honest with you, this is the most gorgeous woven brown wool that I bought. It was in my stash, so I'm making up little kits with these and this gorgeous hand-dyed felt. But yes.
Please thank Janet Jeffries from the United Kingdom for being the first applique sample.
No.
The first one from the fucking... Oh, did you not mute?
No, I did not mute. I hope they didn't hear you.
Oh gosh, sorry everyone.
Steve just said our first fun customer for the applique sampler from... You didn't hear that, did you? It was kind of muffled. Please tell me that was muffled. Stephen, who is it? Janet Jeffries. Thank you, Janet. That is lovely. There she is. I can see her now. I can see her now. Thank you, Janet. So Steve gets a little bit excited because he built this website from scratch himself. So he accepts all things like that personally, because particularly when they work. So that's just lovely. You're going to have a little bit of Australia in your sewing room. That's really nice. Can we go back to the owl now? Thank you. All right. So back to our Tasmanian owl. He will be called a Tasmanian owl because Felicity made him and offered the pattern to us. And she's in Tassie. She's in St. Helens. Okay. So what is wrong with this owl? I'll tell you what's wrong with this owl. He hasn't got enough rice. So I'm going to, this is where I have to tell you. You ready? I'm sorry, it's going to hurt. I'm going to take his eyes off. I haven't put them on yet. Because they're felt on wool, they just sit there very nicely. And can you see his beak? I've never done this before. It's woven. So Cass has whizzing up the instructions for me as quickly as she can with 3 kids at home on lockdown. In lockdown. So you actually have 3 thicker vertical bits of embroidery thread and then 3 strands that you weave. I can't believe how easy it was and effective. So I've stuck that in the instructions as well. Now, this little guy, his bottom is exposed. There's no other way to put it. But if you use a cotton, because he is wool. So what I would suggest if you are making one up from the little kits that we'll put up, and honestly these kits are going to be all of about $3 each because there's just nothing in them, just this gorgeous flannel and this wool. So, oh, and I'm also putting in the thread and the felt for the eyes, but because of the wool I couldn't effectively turn over a seam allowance. What I would suggest is a little extra piece of felt here on the bottom to conceal those raw edges. I will pop in a little bit extra of the, oh, they're so tiny I can't find them. I'll pop in a little bit extra of the felt so you can conceal that if you want to underneath. Probably, I've got some really nice yellow, so I'll pop that in. But he needs more rice. He's just a little bit too fat in front. So I'm just going to see if I can undo my stitches. Just get in here. I just think they are going to be so much fun. Robert, I don't know if I told you, but I have to watch. I can't say gunner when I get tired because it translates into a weapon in the auto translate correct in Spain. So evidently our friends in Spain were rolling around laughing because I kept going to get a gun to yeah. So we going, not gunner. You just don't realise how Australian we can be when we are tired or relaxed or just amongst family until Google Translator gets a hold of you. Felicity made a very, very good suggestion that if you're, oh, what's it? I think this is sushi rice, Rob. I grabbed it out of the cupboard. It doesn't look like, I don't know what that is. She said grab your dry iron water jug is the best thing for putting this in, and I think she's right. So I've sat it in a teacup or a mug I'm just going to put some more in. I think this is the best, this is just one of the best ways to get it to sit nice and sturdy. Then we need cotton and thread and thimble. Oh, that's not the best colour to use. We'll use brown. Someone said it looked scary. It's not. Oh, Donna. Yeah, you know what? You feel a little bit, I've shown you everything at once, and you do feel a little bit out of your comfort zone, but that's the whole beauty of it, that you start off nice and slow. Just 2 little blocks at a time, 2 or 3. There's no more than 3 in a set. And if there is 3, honestly, the third one is a little bit of nothing, or it's making some extra stuff ready for the outer border, some extra pieces. So it just goes nice and slow. Now, if you are in a quilter's life as well, it's worth mentioning that I do a little demo each month, a little blog demo on a quilter's life of the different techniques as well. So if you're watching for the first time, we've actually, Rob, got our first members in Scotland as well.
Ooh.
Did you know that?
No.
So this is, just quickly while I do this is a quilter's life. So a quilter's life is a club as well, but it's an online club that's $10 a month, and I put up demonstrations and a lot of patterns that when I release them, they might be, you know, between $9 and $15. They are free for members of a quilter's life, so they just get put into the club for people to download. I also do some recipe things in there as well, sort of along the lines of what I do on YouTube. So that's just another little thing. It runs separately to us, so we don't manage that. You do it through that Podia site. So it's a quilter's life at podia.com, and I just get the fun bit of uploading everything. All right, actually, I might just show you. I've got, so you can just see I've left him sitting. He looks like a little chocolate pudding now. So I'll take him out. I've sewn up his bottom again. So you only need 3 panels, all the same size, to make this little guy. You'll see it when we get this done. All that needs to happen is for Cass to draft up that pattern with the diagrams, and I'll send her this little picture and pop it on, and it's all yours. There we go. So we'll just feed that back through. This little guy sitting here is watching. Now, that's better. Oh, he's got the evil eye now. He's fatter, but that's pretty good. I'm happier now. So, there's little eyes on. So for his eyes, you can use the felt that I put in. You just need a little, just have a little bit of a play, do some little circles, and then I did little slits for his pupils with a little bead. So I'll put the beads in the kits as well when they come out. But if you've got your, look, honestly, how much stuff have you got in the stash? How much rice have you got in the cupboard? You can have a go yourself with whatever you've got. I also think as well, if you do have the time, you might like to have a little bit of a play and just do some little straight stitches in one strand, oh, I don't know, of a variegated brown or a brown and grey embroidery threads down through here. Give him a little bit of fluff and a few feathers on his chest. And you could do the same on the back, almost stitch in some straight stitches of some wing shapes on his back as well. So, yeah, you can please have a go. Just checking what you all wrote. You're all having a chat, and I'm more. Who says they haven't done much? Is this confessional? This is confessional. Petra, get cracking. Get cracking. I know you've got a lot of kits and stuff up there at the moment you're sewing, but you've got to keep up. Says me, who hasn't finished her corner blocks. but you all know what I did. For those that don't know, I actually got excited and started sewing them. I used the wrong fabric. I thought I knew what I'd put in the kits for the stems. I had to redo them, so there you go. So we'll get that done as quickly as we can, and you can see here I've got lots of wool and lots of flannel, so we should be good to make up quite a few kits if you want to grab one of these ones. I will pop in a copy of the pattern so you don't have to download it yourself. We'll put in a colour copy of the pattern, and as soon as it's up, I will put up a little picture of that little guy and say it's up. So you can start putting things into your cart and leave them open if you want to. Steve knows when you've got stuff in your cart. It's quite scary, but in a nice way. It's really nice. Yeah. I know, Kathy. Well, that's what he's supposed to be, is a pin cushion, but no, I can't do it. I agree with you. I can't stick pins in him. I can't. But if you decide you are going to use him as a pin cushion, then what? Can't do it. What I would also do, you know those little humectant sachets that you get in your shoebox or in your nori sheets to make your sushi, or in some, you know, you get those little things. Save them, because they are the best thing to put in the bottom or in the middle, in the base of the owl, but in your pin cushions, because if your pin cushion gets damp at all, it absorbs all the moisture and it just significantly reduces the risk of your pins rusting or your needles rusting. It's just a little tip, but it's a really good idea to use one of those if you can get your hands on them, or just save them when... All right, come on, I'm going to do it. You ready? No, I can't do it. Can't. No, it just feels wrong. I'll stick it in my mushroom instead. There we go. It's in my mushroom. Which, Janet, comes from the UK. It comes from the Community Craft Centre in the hall, up the end in High Street in Dedham in Essex, from my mum's home village. There you go. That's my little bit of England for the day. Back to the list. Okay. Oh, threads. Steve, for those who are doing the applique sampler, if you were after threads to use, if you're not happy with what you're using, Steve has popped up all of our Affinas now. I think there's only a couple of different colours that are missing. So this is Affina, which is made by Wonderful. All of the colour palette has been designed with them by Sue Spargo. They are a beautiful cotton to use. If we've got enough time this afternoon, I'm going to come back and do a little bit of an impromptu needle turn with it just to show you. But it is absolutely gorgeous. So they are all up. I think they're really reasonably priced. They are $5.20 each. So this is also 60 weight. So it's not as strong and as thick as your machine thread. You can use it on your machine. It just is not. Come on. It's also so well wrapped that I can't find the end. I'm going to hand it to Robert. He's going to find it. Oh no, oh, wait. Got it. I love this stuff. What I find is when I can get the cover off. I'll give up. Rob, you can come in. I'm handing it to Rob, not because I'm being, you know, pathetic, but because I want to move on. I've got things to do. Oh no, I got it. I can hear Sue laughing at me with her Canadian accent right now. Righty-go, here we go. It is beautiful and fine, and it is mercerized. So what's really important about that is it's not really a technical term. Mr. Mercer invented the technique where they run the thread over a flame. If whatever you are doing, if you can get mercerized cotton for machine or hand, it's just so much nicer to work with. For hand, it's much smoother. For machine, you're going to get a much smoother run, but also you get a lot less fluff in your machine. See how fine that is? Super fine. Beautiful. So they are all up. If you want a little bit of a guide on what colours to get for your applique sampler, just drop me an email at info@chandlerscottage.com and I will go, yep. I'll just say this green, this red, this orange, this gold, depending on what you need. But they're really, really nice to work with. So they're under the threads section now in Habby. It's not listing to me. They're under Habby in threads with the sashiko threads. So do you remember I showed you these the other day? That fabric's up. I pulled off what I wanted for my kits. This is up. I ironed one side for you so, so that it would look better. There you go. This is one of our new babies from Benetex and I love, love, love it. You know, I just go a bit nuts sometimes over ombres. This takes it to a different level. It is not a finely graduated ombre. You can clearly see where it changes colour, and this is almost that airbrush technique that I've talked about that I use in my fabrics. So you can see it's not a hard line between the two, it's not a full ombre, it's speckles between the two. So I kind of let out the girly scream when we got this sashiko. Look at it, because I went, oh, they go together beautifully. So these are now both up on the website. There's about 6 of these and I have ordered a heap more because I've got a project that I'm going to do as a full demo on a quilter's life with the maple block from my Oriental Baltimore, and what we're going to do is this circular design from that in maple leaves. In this you're only going to need about 25 centimeters. Hang on, I need to, Stevie, yeah. That Benetex ombre. Oh, which one? The new one that I'm nuts about that goes with the thread. I'll hand it to you.
Yeah.
Can you, is that set up for 1/2 meter cuts or 25 centimeters?
I think 1/2 meter.
Okay, that's all right. Leave it at that for now. When we do a quilter's life, we'll do a special pack for members for that. Yeah. Okay, all right. So this is, but you can see how gorgeous are they together. So these are both up on the website. You go from this olive green through, there's like a plummy burgundy, right through these pinks, pinky reds, orange, and then it mirror images on the other side. Divine. Actually half a meter is really good with this, because if you wanted to do bias work with it, oh my goodness, just beautiful. Anyway, if you're in the club, I'm starting on this now, and with polyfuse like we've done in the applique sampler pre-shaping, and we'll do up a little kit just for Quilter's Life members with this as well, with those threads when they come in, because I think this would be perfect to do some sashiko leaves behind the applique ones. So that's now up. I think I showed it to you the other day, but I wanted to let you know that was up. The other things that have arrived, this is the new Michael Miller. So this is already up in red. And when you're having a look through the new website, it is all really different. Just take your time. If you've got any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. It's just, everything is there like before, but you might need to just get your head around where everything is, if that makes sense. So when you go into other beautiful fabrics, well, that means they're ones that I didn't design, and you will find them under there, and you can sort A to Z by, you can search Michael Miller, you can search, there's lots and lots of different ways that you can do it. Most expensive to cheapest now. If you go highest price to lowest price at the moment in there, switch it around to lowest to highest, you're going to pick up all the fabrics that are on special, because we uploaded a lot of those gorgeous batiks for $15 a meter yesterday. So that's one good way to find everything that is on special. So that came in, it's a real gorgeous vibrant green. Meg, I'm thinking I'm going to use this one for that green for bunting myself for Christmas, with the red dot that matches that's in there. So if you search A to Z, and you're going to come up with M for Michael Miller. You can also search under Robert Kaufman, and there's a drop-down menu that shows you all the manufacturers. This is another quilter's linen, so we've now got this in grey, red, more of a Christmas green that would look drop-dead gorgeous with this. But this beautiful soft sage colour, I don't know what they called it. Forest. That's not forest. What were they thinking? I don't know what they were thinking. I've checked. Oh, thank you, Gwen. I'm glad you like it. I'll let Steve know. It's been a while. It's a 6-month project. And in fact, we started the website work over 12 months ago, nearly 18, and switched directions halfway. So it's been a massive learning curve. But this goes with the Under the Australian Sun pink and teal florals and the mint gum leaves, things like that. Very, very nice. It will actually go with Melba australis. Now you go, no, Lisa, it doesn't, because it's got oranges and things, but there is that little bit of a sage green in the foliage. Can I just prove that to you? Hang on. I just want to prove that to you. Let's just pull out this one again. That one. I'm just thinking, do I need to save some of it now for 160 squares of it to pop in the sampler? This block will do. The pointed Dresden's in there somewhere. Look at this. Look at this. I'll just remove the leprechaun. Look. You see that? It's that green in there. So there are 2 different greens I put in this fabric, and that mint there, that's it. That is dead set. It's actually closer than I thought. That is exactly that sage green. Wow. Gee, things can play tricks on your eyes sometimes, can't they? Absolutely play tricks. Okay. Now, there is another one. There's another new, well, it's not new, it's back in stock. We used to sell lots and lots and lots of this one. And we haven't been able to get it for ages. Why can't I get in here? I can't get in. Can't get in. Oh, Meg says, our Sewing for Charity group couldn't meet, so we are all sewing this weekend, making Christmas. Oh, really? So you're all making Christmas decks for Peter Mac to sell? Well, that's awesome, because Jill Cross is watching, and Jill Cross is involved with the massive and amazing group that do a lot of work and quilts and comfort pillows and mastectomy drainage bags and stuff for Peter Mac. So she'll be rapt to hear that. Meg, that is just, that's awesome. We've, hello Donna, and good morning to you in the UK. Oh, Corinne's here too. Lovely. This baby. So this colour was and is peacock. Now, the reason we used to sell a lot with this is actually hidden in a box over here. This box. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but I parted with my stash, part of my stash, and it is this in my stash, which was my Passage to India paisley. And it is up on the website, and some of you have bought it, and I actually wonder if those that have bought it actually realise that it hasn't been there forever, and it's just magically like a time warp reappeared. But I kept, I think I said to you, I kept what I wanted for me, and I just went, this is just silly, because I'm going to do a range, will be next year now. It's starting now, it's forming in my head and on paper now, called Silk Road. So it will bring back some of my Indian collection, and Chinese and Russian and all mush together. So I just went, this is silly, let it go, because what did we use it for? Oh, we used it for the lanterns. So if I put that back there, you can see these go well together now, because it picks up this blue. Now also on the website, what we've done is coordinates. There is a section called coordinates, and then there is a section called other beautiful fabric. So I need to write the little spiel for Steve to put on the coordinate section, so that you can understand, or people can understand, what qualifies it to go under coordinates. And coordinates qualify if they are an ongoing collection. So Robert Hoffman Fusions, ongoing collection. Hoffman 1895 Batiks, ongoing collection. So Northcote Shimmers in there as well, and Maywood Shadow Play. So they are fabrics that we have all the time. We try and stock pretty much the whole range. We restock it when we run out of the ones that we use, so that they are always there. And so I like that idea, because then you can have the confidence that if you want to buy some now and think, oh, I might need a little bit more later, you can buy it knowing that you can get it again. So, so yeah, Peacock is up and yummy. What, Stevie?
Just a reminder, Maywood Shadow Plays on sale.
Thank you, Steve. Stephen says to remind you that he worked out how to put a particular category on sale, which we then did just to prove that we could do it yesterday. So there's 25% off all Maywood Shadow Plays until midnight tomorrow night.
Yep.
Till midnight tomorrow night. So, and now when you order, you can only order if it is in stock. So you're never going to order and worry you're not going to get it. There you go. Thanks, Steve. So funny. All right. So the reason that I had this guy out here was because we had kits that we did a little while ago on our live shows to make lanterns, and this one I never finished, and I'm so sorry I forgot. So please don't worry about what's in this box, because that is kind of past history. But I wanted to bring this in today and make this one up, because we do have more kits made up with the cream sets. And I'll just grab out everything I need out of here. Would you push that space bar again, Rob? Oh, good. Does it still work? It's making me nervous. I don't want the girls to be left hanging again for 3 hours like that. Okay. So these are the kits that I think Steve's putting back up today. I've just taken the photo of him. I get so confused what we've done. Can you see these? Hang on. We'll just move all the applique sampler out of the way. All the spotty dotties, all that stuff. It's a mess. And then we can give you a nice little close-up. So we hadn't put these up again because we ran out. And you know, our supply of these lantern kits is 5 minutes away, but with COVID lockdown, we have to get them delivered. So we're going to put these back up. So this kit, which comes in a pack like this, in a box, has enough to make 3 lanterns. Meg from Oyen has made heaps already. Oh, Jenny, you've made them as well. Oh, for a girlfriend's 60th. Well, that's awesome. That is really, really nice. Pat Goss, thinking about circular attachment. How about using... Yes, Pat. All that. Yes. Oh, my goodness. So many things to do. You can use it with your braiding foot and your cord foot. Any foot. You've just got to remember you're going around in a circle. That's all it is. So, yes, of course you can. Oh, wow. That is actually a really good idea. Okay. So what I did with these, this one is with Melba Fans. This one is with Summer Palace. So I've done these little kits up again with just these neutral cream and golds. But also what I did with this one, just to prove that you could do it, I got my scalpel out while the shade was still flat, and I just cut on a cutting board very carefully some of the leaves around the points of the leaves so they stick out a bit. So when I stick my little tea candle, my battery one in these now, you get extra little slits of light shining through. So I've got one to finish off in the other colours. So I thought I'd do that with you and show you. But this is what you get in the kit. So the kits, we're putting them back up, and I'm including for free or extra value in the kits a fat eighth of each of those 3 fabrics, so that you can make up your lanterns as per what you will see in the photo for the kit. Now, if you don't want to use these, of course you don't have to. You might like to use something else that you've got in your stash. And don't just think cotton fabrics. If you've got organzas or something else wild and wonderful, when I show you how they go together, and then also just quickly show you what you get in the kit, you'll see you can use lots of different fabrics with them. Stripes look great as well. We have bikes going up and down the street. It's very noisy. Okay, so in the kit you get this. I'm not going to make one up today for you, because I've got the kits made, you know, they're all made up, but you've got great instructions in the kit, and there's a fantastic YouTube demo to watch as well. You get the info for in the kit. But this is like, what's that stuff we used to cover at Contact? This is like Contact we used to cover our books with, or the kids' books, on steroids. It is super sticky, thick plastic that has a paper on the back, and you actually are going to peel the paper off and pop your fabric onto it, and that's what gives your lantern its structure. Meg will give me the backup. It's really, really easy to do, super easy to do. Okay, so this one is ready. Oh my goodness, now I'm going to try and do it without the instructions, and I haven't done one for a few weeks. I'll be good, I'll be good. It's got really good instructions, I'll be fine. See, look, they're really good instructions. You need an overhead shot. There you go. So this is another little idea that I did as an idea just to try out. I did it on this box. So this is the box that comes in. I drew a line onto my box. I put, this is going to be my lantern. I put it, is that what I did? No, sorry. I drew it onto my lantern, and then I sat it on the box, and I got a pin and I pricked through all the way through, and it was just really good having the box underneath so that I could go, if I was doing that, all the way down into the shade. Then what I got on the back was, you can see where I've stitched, I got perforated holes, so then I could go through and stitch through, and I had a little bit of gathered ribbon. So now when I make my lantern up, it's got a little frilly bit that goes round. So this has all been prepped, ready to go, and we now crack this. So it's got already pre-cut, you can hear it cracking, pre-cut little cuts on the back, and this is ready to peel off. I can't remember which order we do this in. I think we do this first. Yeah, okay, I'm right now. Took me a while. I had to think about it. I really did have to think about it. Done all of that, done all of that. Do the kiss cut, put the tape on once I've got this off. Okay, so we now peel this off. Hey, you know what? Okay, here's a tip. Robbie, here's a tip. This has been sitting in the sun on my desk for how long at home? And now the adhesive wants to stay on the plastic. She don't want to come off onto the fabric. Well, there's a lesson learnt, everybody. If you're going to do the kit, don't leave it sitting in the box in the sun in your studio for months. Did you get that, Meg? Because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do instead. So you will usually peel this off. All the sticky stuff has stayed on here because I've left it too long. And when I say left it too long, Meg, how long would it be? It'd have to be 3 months, wouldn't it, at least? It'd have to be 3 months. All right, let's get this other side off. We have a plan B. So what will usually happen is the sticky stuff that's on here will come off, and it will leave, it'll leave this all sticky down this side. I'm sure that's right. And then this is still sticky. But what I'm going to do today is you get ample, absolute ample of this double-sided tape in your pack. I'm sure that's right. So I'm going to put an extra layer of this on here. And in here. There we go. What we're about to do, I'm sure it would have been sticky enough that it wouldn't matter. Then what you actually do is grab and peel this off in a minute. I'll do it now. So the red that you can see is the backing. I'll peel that off. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure it used to be quite sticky though still. Nearly there. Oh, Jenny, wasn't it? Oh, I thought it was. Maybe I'm talking porkies. Alright, well, we've got extra stick now. Goodness me. Alright, then I've got more tape in one of these boxes. Which one? This one. Now, what we do is we actually coat these two gorgeous rings, these two copper rings, with the sticky stuff. So again, you've got great instructions and a demo as well. So I'm just going to put this around here. This is just the simplest of things. Now this company also do lampshades, and I do have some. Finally got some stock in. So we will get that going really soon. I just have to it's quite a substantial thing for me to make a lampshade, because it's not like a quilt that I can fold up and put on a shelf. I'm making a lampshade, so I really want to think very carefully about where I want a lampshade in the house or in my studio. Now, this is what I do. You're putting this sticky tape on, and you want to twist so that it goes all around the ring. Like that. while I'm doing this, I'm going to ear bash you about next week. So, Cass and I are going to attempt, in conjunction with the Love and Hugs from Australia Facebook page, we are going to attempt to live stream through Chandler's Cottage Facebook page and Love and Hugs from Australia. Now, Love and Hugs from Australia, the full title is Stitch Along, was formed in March last year. I know a lot of you have joined up already. Was formed in March last year by Natalie Bird from Birdhouse Designs, and she put together a fantastic diverse group of Aussies who, some of us were all doing a runner home from all different parts of the world, from teaching and shows and everything at the time. And there are 16 of us in the group, and the followers, just due to the pandemic and the work and the effort that everyone put in to get this support group going, now has over 17,500 members. And it is a closed group. It's not like you can just click and join. You do have to be approved to come into the group. 17,500, and they are everywhere. So we're talking Italy and France, Germany, England, Canada, America, Spain, the whole lot. So we've done lots of little projects along the way, and at the moment some of us are hosting the page. There we go. They're both on. I'm going to start peeling back and leaving the sticky stuff on the ring. Some of us are hosting the page for 2 weeks each at a time. So I'm pulling that off, and I'm going to leave all that on. But it's all very sticky, so I'll just carefully sit there. That's how sticky it is. Super sticky. Well, let's sit it down here. Some of us are hosting the page for 2 weeks each, and I start on the 1st of spring. So Chandler's Cottage is hosting it for 2 weeks. So on top of our normal shows on a Tuesday and a Thursday, I'm going to be doing live shows in the evenings. And I'm doing the evening ones so it doesn't clash with what you and I get up to on a Tuesday and a Thursday, but also it means we can get together after dinner for a change, but also the girls that are in the Northern Hemisphere, that it works for them, they can watch it live if they want to. So you've got a couple of options. You can pop onto Love and Hugs from Australia and apply to be a member, and one of the admin girls will definitely approve you. If you have any trouble, let me know. But I mean, it's all, it's all volunteer. There's nothing involved in terms of money or anything. It's just a team of lovely, like-minded girls that are doing it. So we'll get you on there, and so you can watch from there, or you can watch from the Chandler's Cottage page. If I have trouble setting it up to dual stream, Cass and I will know that for sure by, well, probably by Monday. I'll know when I speak to you on Tuesday. So we're going to be doing that, but yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. And so there'll be lots of extra little bits and pieces. Now, some of it, admittedly, you might have seen before, because I've got 14 days to do. So I'm hoping to do a live every day. Rob and I are setting it up to do it from home. We'll try and do one every day. If not, there'll be a little post or something that we do. Okay, now I'm just adding an extra little strip of that sticky stuff, because when I wrap the shade around the rings, when I wrap the shade around, it will come around and stick back together. So what we now do is line them up. This is the fun bit. I'll give you the overhead shot so you can't see me screwing up my face and, maybe or not swearing. But this is the fun bit. You get these, which are now super sticky. You ready? and we put them right next to the edge of that Perspex shade material like that. And we roll. Sometimes you've just got to stop and straighten up a little bit. I'm out of practice, Jenny Miller and Meg. Actually, you know what I've done? I've made it that little bit harder by having that bumpy ruche. There we go. So as I come back around to where it joins up, you can see that extra strip that I've popped on there, across there, is actually going to come around and stick on to the first side. Now I tried to flatten out. I'm going to have to chop a little bit of my pretty ribbon off so I can stick that round. There we go. Okay, so if I sit that up like that for you now, you can see just a little bit funky and a little bit different. So what we'll do now is come back, and we need to fold in all of these raw edges around the lip. So someone was asking me again about these babies. So we have bought the babies, these gorgeous scissors, and we have a freight agent in Asia that packs all our things off for us, and she is absolutely wonderful. And she's very, very upset because she got the coding wrong for the international code for scissors when she packed up the freight, and therefore TNT FedEx took the scissors out. So we're just getting them repacked, reclaiming them and getting them repacked at the moment. So we will have these, they are still coming. You now turn that seam allowance at the top and the bottom over, and because that whole rim is sticky, it's going to stick. Yeah, so next week, it's a big month, September. We've got 2 weeks hosting Love and Hugs. We're going to do lives at least for the first week. We'll just see how we go. And then after that will be our virtual Australian Textile Exhibition show. So then every day I'm going to come on and show you beautiful Australian quilts, including Eileen Campbell's magnificent collection that we've got coming in. Please remember to get in those entries. For the bag challenge, we have a sewing machine, a $1,000 gift voucher, and an overlocker up for grabs. Like that, we're talking major stuff here, just for you picking up your favorite Australian themed bag and sending it over to us so that we can put it in. So that's all folded under. What you now do is just on this inside rim, under here, you get these cool little tools in your kit, and you actually go around and use them like that, and use it to push the excess seam allowance up under that rim. Okay, so again, you've got lots and lots of great instructions and a YouTube link to do that. But this is the third in a trilogy of kits that we did. I just wanted to use that one to show you how it's all done. I've never finished it off. But the kits that we've got that Steve's popping up are going to make up these 3. I just wanted a really nice neutral colour for you to be able to make them up for a present or for Christmas, or I just thought those colours will sit everywhere. But of course you can use your own. You can use your own fabric. Hello Marie. I missed Marie Evans was in the building. So there you go. Right, next back to the list. This is where I need the brain fade list in the afternoon. Oh yes, okay. Makeup bags. Just wanted to show you, these have been one of the lovely surprises of the year. It was really good. shocking Emma that I hadn't just put one zip in, I did 3. Because I had the zip phobia, she has the applique phobia, but I'm over it. I am totally over it. So, as you know, these are our 3 that we have. I'm pretty sure they're all up on the site. So there's the black and gold one, and then there's the teal. I'll tell you what, if they're not, I'm going to be busy because it just means we've run out of kits. I'm just foofing out. Just foofing out the bottom. So they are those 3. I really want to come back when we get together on Tuesday and do another quick demo on these, because I have been asked by people if I would do one, particularly knowing that I have a zip phobia. And I want to show you the new kit that I'm doing. So only because then if you went and ordered one of those I've just shown you, and then I put the new one up on Tuesday, I don't want you to be cross with me. So this is the new kit that I am doing. Oh, thanks, Jill. I hope he sees that. I'll make sure he does. I'll make sure he goes back. Hello, Lois. How are you? All right, so these 1, 2. All right, so they're 2 of them. So that worries me. I can't see the black and gold one. I might need to make some more up. But you can see you get your zips and your embellishments, which, you know, can be tassels, or it can be ceramic flowers, or this one you get a tassel and the little under the Australian sun badge. This is the new kit. And this has come about for a couple of reasons. One, no, you can't buy this by the meter. This came in as a very precious, precious little piece. It's woven, it's got a slub, and I have just claimed what I got purely for these kits. This is the other thing that came in, and this will be going, this is one of the things that Steve will get up on Tuesday before the show. I have bought us, that's you and me, a roll of really, really nice, it's brushed, stressed denim. So this means it's not super polished like in 1980 Levi's jeans that you know, that we put on and sat in a cold bath so they shrunk around us to fit us. Oh, I would never do that. Not when my parents were home anyway. Okay, so that's gorgeous. Now see that blue? See that blue? This is why I've claimed it, and it's going with the denim. So if I give you a close-up of the denim, it's got little loopy stress bits in it. It's really, really nice quality, and like a cotton drill, it's got grunt. It's got some body to it. It's not going to be any harder to sew through. You won't need to use a jean foot for what we're doing. I mean, we're not making jeans. We're making one of these little purses. So you're not going to need anything special. But this is on a roll. And it will be going up on the website. It's super extra wide. It's 54 inches, and I think it's $25 a meter. So, you know, it's $25 a meter, but you're getting a lot, and you're not going to need to buy much to make a bag. So this I will get Steve to pop up in 25 centimeter increments for bag making. So if I give you I'll just give you the overhead. The overhead shot is this. So that's going to be our purse. So if you have a look at one of these bags, that's going to be the base, that's going to be the bag, and then you'll also find under other essential haberdashery or supplies, I think it's called in Habby, we've got these cute little labels I showed you the other day. So we've got both up now. There's ones with little birds and there's ones with little sewing machines on them. And they're a pack of 10 for $3. So they're really, really cute if you're making things for Christmas, and they've got little perforated holes in them. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm just reading what Donna wrote, that she is using the ombre for her for her Vietnam Anzac panel. Well, that's a fantastic idea. Oh, Jane, what are you doing? You're just finishing your black makeup first while I'm watching you. Ah, that's that's funny. Well, I should get you to do the demo on Tuesday then, Joan. So I'm going to make this up. I'm going to pop my handmade label though. It's going to come down onto the denim. And then we got some beautiful new tassels in. So they'll be going in the kit with the whole little clippy keyring thing like these ones. But look at the colour. Look at the colour. Gorgeous rusty red, and it perfectly picks up this floral. So I'm a bit excited about that. Very, very excited about that. And whoever just asked me again about the origami, I think I saw you on Wednesday, didn't I? We made it by the skin, by the absolute skin of our teeth, getting Natasha's stuff, so my mate in the UK that has all of my fabrics and kits, skin of our teeth, and I mean that quite sincerely, onto a truck straight to the airport to go to the UK in time for her segment on the Craft Store shopping channel on Thursday next week. So it was a priority, and that's because of the truckie strike and the freight strike on Friday, combined with a couple of major distribution centres being out, the poor guys with COVID scares and being hotspots. So the whole thing just went. We got them out. So this, I've got to make up some more. Steve will not let me put them up unless we've got stocks. I've only got one, so we're going to make up a few more today and tomorrow, and then these will go up on the website, which I keep promising, but they will. So they're the little patchwork kits, and I'm feeling the need to do a different colour because we've got this one. We've got one done in Melba, but I'm feeling the need to make a third. So maybe we can make the third together on Tuesday as well. So we'll get that done. Jenny Miller, what do you mean I've gone all blurry? I can't go blurry. I don't know why. Did we go blurry? So Rob's just woken up in the corner. What are you doing if you're not looking after my... I don't know. Are we all good now, Jen? Are you fine? I hope so. It may just be internet connection if it's gone a little bit blurry, because it's not blurry at this end, so I'm not sure. So new makeup bag Tuesday, yes, so we'll do that together. I've got the cream zips, we're all good to go for that. So the other thing that I just really wanted to do for you this afternoon was a little needle turn demo for you, so that for those that are heading into the applique sampler, for those that want to really understand what it's all about with needle turn compared to other techniques, I'm going to do a bit of this. If you've got other things to do, I'm not going to be offended if you head off. If you're in the applique sampler, you're going to be doing it soon anyway. If you're in a quilter's life, you're going to get the demo next week as well. But I just wanted to do a little bit, just a little bit, to show you how easy it is. Also, what you have to remember when you're watching me do this, I'm a lefty, so you need to switch it. I'll try and remember to tell you that as we go. If you saw what I was doing, I am removing all of the debris from near the camera. So, there's just stuff everywhere. Rob's laughing at me now. It is, isn't it? It's just like it's a war zone. Mount Vesuvius, Lisa King would call it. Oh, Jen, we're all clear now. That's good. Did you put your glasses on? Oh, I did not say that. But that's what usually happens when you feel a little bit blurry. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of needle turn applique onto this gorgeous thing. This is shimmer. I think it's Angel Hair Shimmer. It is purely coincidentally one of the fabrics that we have a special offer on for the girls that are joining the Applique Club. Another little thing too about that, if you thinking, oh, I need my background before I start, how does that work? You actually don't. You need your background to get started. I've just lost my thimble. when I moved the debris. Doesn't matter. You don't, because you're going to do paper piecing the first time round, so when you get your pack you can have a look and decide which background you would like, and that's really good because you'll have all of your fabrics with you as well, and you'll be able to lay them over the little swatches that we've got, so you can make a decision, a really good decision about what to use. Thanks, Rob. I'm just going to cut a little bit of this. There's lots of little instructions as well and little tips on what to use in terms of needles and things. Now that you've done that, Robbie, do you want to come and find my thimble as well? It's here. It's here amongst them. Oh, thanks. It's too shiny. So there's lots of little things that we go through and talk about in terms of what needles to use. Should we want to show off? I'll show off and use a teeny weeny one. No, that's not fair. That is the size needle that I work with, and I would never ever do that to someone starting to do applique, because it's not necessary. You just, as you go, you just get used to a finer and finer needle, and it depends on what you're doing. So this, you see that? That's a really strong needle, and it's thicker. That's a good piecing needle. Piecing needles, you want them to have a really good tensile strength. You don't want them to bend. This one bends a lot more, and this is an applique needle. So I'm going to use this one. I don't snake charm. I don't try and do this. I pop it down between my fingers and sit the needle over the, I don't know that you can see it, but I've got the top of that thread just between my fingers, so I can sit the whole of the needle over the top, and I can't do it because I'm sitting, see where I'm going, so I've got it away from you. There you go. So it's just much easier if you sit it down between your fingers and look at the tip of the thread and sit the eye of the needle over the top. I also do a wrap around my needle to make a knot, so if you sit it on your finger like that, wrap around 3 or 4 times, just hold it between your fingers and push it all the way through. I'm going to get a knot, which I don't even know if you can see either. Rob's getting us a 4th camera, which is really exciting. So I can have one behind us as well. Oh, I just got the look from under camera too. Alright, so what are we going to applique? Well, this will be fun. Let's just cut a random shape. So you can see I've chosen this green to match my batik, and this is one of the batiks that we do use in the club. So you can imagine now, can't you, the logistics of having enough fabric and assembling that many kits. It's a big thing. So you need to know, for those that started earlier in the year, that somewhere on the Mornington Peninsula right now, my mum is ever so lovingly sitting and folding all of your fabric kits that will come out next week. And when she's finished them, she'll let me know, and they'll get picked up T&T and brought back to me. And we will pop the patterns in, and they will come out in the mail. I think, just so you can see, I'm going to draw a shape. We'll do a leaf. It's just the easiest thing to show you. It's got some nice points on it too. So I'm going to draw a little leaf. What's really nice now is too is that we're slowly adding heaps to the Happy section, so you won't be working blind if you're starting in finding extra tools that you might need. I'm sure a lot of you will have what you need, but if you need glue pens or chalk pens or anything, we're just so much better organised now. There you go. So I'm going to cut this out. Now, if I had to write in the wrong side to my fabric, which we don't with a hand-dyed Hoffman batik, I would actually be drawing the shape on the right side, okay, not on the wrong side, because I want to be able to see it. I do have, you're all writing to me and I forgot to look. I do have a special Mum Petra, and those that love our remnants packs, there is a big box back TNT downstairs. So they are a nightmare to work out how to put on the website, but we're going to get it done for you by Tuesday's show. So they'll go under pre-cuts. I've just got to see how big they are and a rough idea of average of what they weigh. I'm cutting this out now, and as I go, I'm adding a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Mum doesn't do Facebook. I'm going to talk her into I'm going to talk her into Instagram next week. But she waits until Cass uploads it onto the YouTube channel, onto the Leesa Chandler YouTube channel, and then she watches it. Petra, yeah, look, if you get used to a small needle, I love them too. I do love them too. It's worth getting there. But if you are starting with paper piecing, a piecing needle will do the job really nicely. Right, so there we are. That's our leaf. Now, I probably should cut a piece of this. We don't need to leave it this big. So, Radiant Shimmer is gorgeous. And we had new stock arrive this week, and it's up, and there were new colours as well. So if you had been in there having a look, Ruth from WA stocked up big time on teals the other day. Someone else did too. There was lots and lots of teals that left the building. Cut that little piece out. What I like about the club pack that the girls have got at the moment too is it's got that paper daisy block, and it's also got the tile block, and they are two extremes, if you like. One of them is a complete stylized block, so it has to be accurate, and you don't trace it on, you actually measure the block up step by step so you get it pristine perfect. And I think everyone's on top of that now. And then the paper daisy block, or the heliochrysum block, is purely botanical, so it doesn't matter, a bit like this leaf, if yours ends up different to mine or the pattern. I'm going to just run a line of glue with a Soline glue pen down the back, and it's stuck on. So this is what we are going to do next in the club, everyone. Okay, so you've got we've done raw edge applique, we've done pre-shaping, and now we're on to needle turn. Now just please remember for me, I'm a lefty. So if you are right-handed, you would be starting on this side of the leaf and you would work your way up that side. I'm left-handed, so I'm going to start on this side and work my way up. If you've got an outside curve, you don't need to nick your seam allowance. If you've got an inside curve, and I've just got a little one here, then you will need to nick. So this is where your needle becomes everything. It becomes your tool, because you actually use that needle to tuck your seam allowance under. And that's why it's just so cool having a chalk pen line, or if you've got, depending on your fabric, a Frixion iron-off pen on the top, because then you're turning your leaf under. Now obviously, if I was following a whole pattern, I might have a design drawn on here, but I wouldn't need to draw the whole thing on, because I've got the shape for my leaf already drawn onto the leaf. So, you know, I might have had marked onto here a stem, and I'd have a little mark where the tip of my leaf needs to be at that end, and another little mark on this end where the top is. But I don't need to draw the whole leaf onto my background, because I've already got the shape drawn onto the actual leaf fabric. So now, girls, if you are in a quilter's life, please don't worry, I'm going to come back and do a demo for you that will go up on there. If you are in the Applique Sampler Club, you will have I promise you'll have really good diagrams that Cass and I are doing for you. And if you're on the Facebook group as well, I'm putting up some little photos that will preview for you this week too, okay? So, because it's not fair, is it? You're putting up all the brag shots and I'm not. So if you've just joined the Applique Sampler Club, you can go to the Chandler's Cottage Applique Sampler group on Facebook and apply to join, and it will just ask you if you're a member, and you say yes, and then we double check you are, and then you're all good. We do have a lot of ladies that ask to join who are not in the club. I think they just missed that little line of description, but you just have to kindly say not unless you're in the club. So you can see what I'm doing there. I'm just slip stitching it down with an invisible slip stitch as I'm turning it under. And by invisible I mean you can't see any of my stitches on the front, but on the back they're all there. So I am coming up to a little bit of a curve. The beautiful thing about these batiks is that they just do not fray. So you can have a really, really narrow seam allowance. There you go. So we'll just tuck that under. Now if you are struggling a bit with your needle turn, with your slip stitching as well, when you bring your thread up on the fold, you actually go straight back down into the background, just right directly underneath that, travel along underneath, and then come up on the fold again. Okay, so what that means is there's absolutely no thread on the top. Where that loop is there, when I pull that tight, it just disappears because there's this minuscule amount of thread that sits between the fold on the leaf and the background where it goes back in. Okay, so I'm just going to scoodle along here. Yes, now if you had bought tickets for, I just remembered I wanted to say that before too. If you had bought tickets for our exhibition, please do not worry. Cass and I will put through this week a refund with Eventbrite, and so that money will come straight back to you. And the little special offer that we had on the trinkets, that trinket box is going to go up in giftware on the website. So if you'd still like to purchase one, you can. That is not on my list of things to give Stephen. I had better add that to my list. You see that? All stitches are on the back. Now, as we come up to this point, I don't have my fabric tacked down. Now, if I really had to make sure that it was sitting in a certain spot, I would have this tacked on and pinned. So that little point is kind of flowing in the breeze. The most important thing about a point, see how I've flipped it over now? So that's actually the back that's showing. The most important thing about a point, whether you're pre-shaping with polyfuse or needle toning, is you do not worry about the point until you get to it. Don't start trying to pre-shape it, fold to create a point. You worry about it when you get there. I'll give you a close-up there, you can see where I'm at. So now what we do, trim off this excess that's all flipped over, that's now showing the wrong side. I'm going to take that off. And you would have seen I did a couple of little securing stitches at the top. So I want this top to be really nice and secure, because I need to now use my needle and tuck, which is so hard to do when there's people watching. Tuck this under. Okay, this is a bit of a tight, this is a tight point. Oh my goodness, what was I thinking? To do it live on camera. Okay. So the whole point of not worrying about the top until you get to the top is this side that you've just sewn. It becomes a ledge for you to tuck. Well, that is super tight. I just want to stick a butterfly over that. Okay. You want all that under there, and do not trim this thumbnail. So for most of you that will be your left one. before you think about it, just leave a little bit of length on that if you like your nails short, because it really plays a big part in holding that fabric down while you stitch it down when you get to the points. I could do better than this, but I'm holding it so far. I'm not holding it under my nose like I usually do. I've got it under the camera for you. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. All right. So can you see that? Now I could get that better, but that's as good as I could get, sort of working blind from the back, or too far away. And again, stitches are all on the back. So use this as a ledge. So you sew this side down first, and then use it as a ledge to tuck all of the other side underneath, and then you're off again down the other side. There you go. Now if you're not happy with anything, you've got a little bit of a bump here on a curve, if you want to secure that point down a little bit more, don't undo it, please. Whatever you do, don't undo it. Leave it as it is, and when you've finished off the whole edge around the leaf, come back with a fresh needle and thread and go back in under those folds and add some extra stitches. If you've got a little point, you'll be able to get your needle up into the point and sort of, instead of going straight down into the background, go under a little bit further, and it will pull that point in so that it sits nice and smooth. But all of this fabric, remember, in these leaves, it's all already cut on the bias, like when we do bias strips. So the integrity of the weave has already been weakened. So if you start to undo it and go back, even your die-hard super tight Hoffman batik will start to fray and come out of shape. So it's much better to go back with a fresh thread later on and do it. So, questions. Good afternoon. Jane, I spoke to our quilter, a lengthy conversation yesterday. So that was all good. No, I don't put anything underneath my background when I'm doing this sort of needle turn. If I was doing it by machine, absolutely I would. But if anything, maybe a little bit of starch. If you were going on to a real sort of softer, I want to say country, but I don't know if that's the right word. Maybe an older fabric that hasn't got such a tight weave, or one that hasn't got a tight weave, then you might want to stabilize a little bit, but not usually for needle turn. You will get a little bit of distortion and shrinkage, and that's why in the club we're always cutting our fabric that bit bigger, and we'll come back and trim it down just as we're ready to sew them into the quilt. But it's a very, very good question though. Awesome question. And if you feel that your stitching is creating too much of a pucker, and it's just because you're getting used to it and learning how to do it, then of course you can add some underneath. I would go for something really, really thin, because you want to be able to cut it away from behind those leaves or those pieces, so that when you put all your blocks together, they all work really well together. You don't want anything too hard behind there. I put a bit of whisper weft behind my tile print, my tile block, because I was just really worried about it getting super flat, and I put that in the notes, but it's up to you. But it's a very good question. Mel, what's that? Yay, one of my parcels has just been processed just now. Oh, after sitting still for a week at Parkdale. It wouldn't have been at Parkdale for a week. That just means they've caught up, because yeah, I don't know. I'll ask Steve about that. But our local post manager was down here himself this week. He's so good. He came out and saw us, I think on his day off, and went through all of our systems and stuff. Kathy, could you please tell me the name of that batik? I would like to order some. Sure. I think it's Peter. It is. It's Peter, as in Peter Pan. And it is colour 334. It is gorgeous, and if you want one to shade just that bit lighter, there is one called Leaf, and Leaf is gorgeous as well. So there's a slightly lighter one that we're using in the club as well. But it becomes a pastime, doesn't it, Mel? You just sit and watch your packages. Just sit and watch your packages. Yeah, Whisper Weft. And I'm very glad to see that Jane's on. Yet she should not be on. Or if she is watching, it's got to be in the background because she has a deadline to finish the most beautiful Australian orchid quilt, which I am really looking forward to showing you when our exhibition is on. So I think that's everything on the list. We've been through, so we're going to do the makeup bag, and I'm going to get all of the elements ready to show you that on Tuesday if you haven't seen that before. Obviously we've got a lot of new things that I want to show you, but I'm not going to promise which ones they are because a lot of them will be dependent on, I want to make sure they're up on the website, but we will keep going. But Steve will be doing the next massive upload of stuff on Tuesday. Oh, if you liked these spotty dotties, we cut all of the sets of these as the pre-cuts that we could, and the rest of them, probably while I've been talking to you, Steve is uploading onto the site. So there will be some of those available as separate yardage. I know some of you asked me about that, and I think that's it. Oh, let's have a little bit of a play with Polyfuse and that ombre as well, as a little bit of a preview of what we're doing in A Quilter's Life. There's lots. There's just so much downstairs. There's all this new bag furniture as well that you haven't seen yet. That's just waiting for me to make the bag. So that's it. All right, I'm going to leave you now. Have a fabulous evening wherever you are. Of course, if you're in the UK, your day has just begun. And so I hope you have a fabulous day as well. We're going to head home now, and I'm going to keep sewing. We're just going to keep sewing because there's just so much to do. Now, what else did I miss? I don't think I missed anything else. We're all good. Oh, okay, so a couple of you got things that say they're going to be laid because they're sitting at Parkdale. Well, I'm really glad to hear that you are being told they're being a bit delayed. What it will be at the moment is, because this is worth mentioning, I meant to mention it at the start. I'm very glad to hear that, Jane. I've just seen your note. Because there was a courier strike or a stop meet on Friday, and on top of that, because of some of the TNT distribution centres being down, including Benina. Now, Jill, if you're still watching, I've had a delivery today and I'm hoping your bobbin case is in it while we've been live, so I'm going to run down and see if that's there. They're delivering on Saturdays at the moment in preparation of getting ahead, because TNT and FedEx and Toll are all down. A lot of companies like us or like Benina or whatever are now switching to Australia Post, domestic post, to get everything out they usually use commercial couriers for. So Australia Post have been working really hard to switch things around, change distribution centres. They will hold your mail safe at a post office for a couple of days rather than put it into distribution, so that when it does leave there, it's straight through to you. So you may see it sit for a little while in the one spot, but I actually feel a lot safer knowing that your mail's sitting down with Greg at the post office here in Parkdale, safe out in his back room instead of out in the abyss while all of these changes are being made. So please be patient with it. We can't make it happen any faster. Steve's setting up, we can book express post now. It may make a couple of days difference if it's going interstate, northern Queensland and things. It will make a little bit of a difference, but please be patient with us. He is also setting up so that if you buy a lot, if you get to a certain weight, coming very soon, I think we're about 2 weeks away with our new setup with Australia Post. We're changing to a better one again. If you're within Melbourne, you'd actually be able to book same day delivery if you order before, I think, 12 o'clock, which is pretty amazing. So we're just trying to get all of those services all set up for you as easy as we can without mucking it up. If that makes sense. But listen, thank you very, very much all for watching. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And now I'm hoping Robert knows which button to push. And I will see you at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. And then I'm going to drop in and say hello kind of early on Wednesday morning. And then from Wednesday night, 7:30, we're going to do a little demonstration and thing for you for the next week or so on Love and Hugs, and we'll stream it through Chandler's Cottage as well. All right. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I'll see you Tuesday. Bye.
If you end this live video now,
Yes.
you'll be able to choose if you want to save or
Yes.
delete it.
Just push
End.
yes.
Yeah.